Hey guys, welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. This is Don. I'm going to do a deep dive today into something called FIVERR. So there used to be two apps, or two websites. One was called FIVERR and the other one was Tenor. And the way it started years ago when I first heard about it is everything was $5. Well, everything isn't $5 anymore. It's kind of like the dollar store where everything used to be $1 and it's no longer $1. But I've used FIVERR for a number of jobs, and I want to talk to you about how to get using FIVERR and maybe why you would want to consider using FIVERR or something similar. So if you want to learn about FIVERR, just go to FIVERR.com and you can see what's available. I've in the past when I had some more time, I used to kind of look at all the different jobs and things that you could people to do, and as you do it, it kind of jogs your memory of what you want to do, like things that are possible, especially if you're looking at like transcription or working on things. But let me tell you specifically some things that have worked for me. And in Podiatry Practice Mastery, in the membership, there's a section on FIVERR where I actually put links to all of these types of jobs, or you can just do it in the search section and find. But let's talk first of all about using FIVERR. So FIVERR, it can be done for anything that you want a virtual assistant to do. And normally these are things that they do over and over and over again for different people. So it's not like a dedicated personal assistant that you ask to do a lot of different tasks. It's each person does this one thing. So a lot of people, they'll just do like one task. And so for example, one is book layout. So there's this guy on FIVERR, and he does all my books. So if you go to drpelto.com and you see my books, they all look the same. It's because this one guy, he did all these layouts, right? He basically has a system. It's a templated system, and you give him a Word document. He lays it out pretty, same background. He picks a nice cover image, and then you have your book. And that's how it's done. And he does it based on the number of pages. So let's say if it's like 30 pages, it might be $15 or $20, and so on and so forth. So that's one of the guys that does something on FIVERR. When you do things, I tend to look at who else they've done it for, like how many, they call it gigs, how many gigs they've done. So for example, there was a guy that I had him redo my YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube, YouTube/Dr. Pelto, you'll see that there's that thing that has my books on the side and my picture in the middle. So he designed that. I gave him kind of the ideas, and I wanted to kind of focus on giving away my books and getting patients into the office. And so that's the idea I gave him. He did. I told him the colors, and I gave him a couple of other ones. But how I chose him was that like this guy he's done like 5,000 jobs. And then they have a whole bunch of reviews, and all the other ones, they maybe did, 20, 30, 50, or 100. This guy did so many more. And then you can see the examples of things that he's done. So that's the other thing, is you look at how many jobs they've done. And so when you search for one type of a job, it'll look up like other people that do that same job. Or you can also look at that person's name by clicking their name and see what other types of jobs. Because usually if this guy does like a YouTube like header, he'll also do like a web page header. He'll do like a Facebook header, a LinkedIn header, all those types of things. So that's another thing that I did with FIVERR. Another example with FIVERR is I remember these. I use these. I call them patient treatment, like a treatment plan, almost like a prescription pad. And I wanted to do a prescription pad on treatment options. So for example, my musculoskeletal things like Achilles tendonitis, plantar fasciitis, metatarsalgia, a lot of the treatments are the same. Basically, I'm going to do regenerative medicine like shockwave, amnio, things like that. Anti-inflammatories like cortisone, anti-inflammatories or icing, stabilizing the foot like with cam boots, walkers, AFOs, things like that, orthotics, and then some advanced things, physical therapy, foam rolling, things like that. So I do those things for like most musculoskeletal things. So I had him make me up a little like prescription pad. So I gave him, wrote a couple of things down in a Word document. I gave him my logo. I gave him kind of what I wanted, and then he made it for me. So he designed it for like $30. Worked out well. And so it was really easy to do with FIVERR. So you look for someone doing like a prescription pad and you give them, or it might be even just like a notepad. And so anything you want done. And why do you do this? Well, you do this because we don't have the expertise to design things, and it takes us a lot longer. The nice thing about Fiverr, for the most part, they have like a 3, 4, 5 day turnaround. Like that guy that did the website header for me, or the YouTube header, is he had like a turnaround of like 2 weeks. Like he said he wasn't taking orders, and then you save yourself to the list, and then when he was taking it, he took me first. So that was another thing that I did with Fiverr. One other thing was, remember these in my business cards, I wanted to do like a post-op kit, like for surgeries or ingrown toenails. So I have a page on my website, drpelto.com/surgery, where it gives instructions about how to get better from your foot surgery, what you should look for an ingrown toenail. And I didn't want to make a new business card for this, so what I did is I made a little sticker, and I didn't make it. I gave them the sticker idea, sent it to Fiverr, and then they made them, and not only that, then they printed them for me. It was the same company that would print them. He made the design, logo, and then printed. Now, sometimes these things go back and forth, so you'll do something, and then you make corrections, and you go back, and they'll make it. So that was same thing with like the books. So you have to give them a really kind of a good look of what it's going to be like. So that's another thing that I did. Another job that I did on Fiverr was the intro music and video to my YouTube. So I wanted a new YouTube video with a back voice, or me recording it, but they made it look better, and I did that on YouTube. Once again, $30, $40 for these things that it's not even the money. I don't know how to do it. It would taking me tons of time. I had another guy, we did one of our webinars. It was like 50 minutes, and he cut it up into individual segments, and each individual segment could be placed into a YouTube, special YouTube, like a discussion, like what causes bunions, non-surgical treatments for bunions, and things like that. So really, all these like techie things, they can transcribe things, they can ghostwrite books, they can ghostwrite articles. Like there's just however you want to spend your money is what they do on Fiverr. So I'm a big proponent of Fiverr. I don't sell anything on Fiverr, but I frequently use it for repetitive tasks. The most common one has been these books. And then there are some other things, like if you want, there's like something that's not on Fiverr, some more specific. Or then the last thing, cool thing is that I use Kajabi for my website, and I didn't know how to make like a certain page on it, like just the normal website page. I didn't know how to do it, but once one was done, I can just copy and make it into the other pages look the same. You know what I'm saying? So you start with a base format. So I found this guy that does Kajabi pages. Like he's the only one, and I paid like $150 for one page, but then all the other ones I could just copy and paste. So if you look, they all look kind of similar, but he's the one that made that initial one for me, set it up, and I could do everything else. So what are these things that are kind of frustrating you that you can't do with your website or with your things like that you need done, that you just don't know how to do or aren't very good, or things like that? Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Kind of a long-winded one on Fiverr, but I'll put some of these links, and if you go into Podiatry Practice Mastery, you can get all the ones that I've done so far. And then, by the way, sign up for a strategy session. If you're like, hey Don, I don't understand anything you're talking about here, I don't even know how we would use it, set up for a strategy session. We can talk about how you could apply this into your practice. That would be fun. We could record it. We could make more content. I think that would be fun. Okay, guys, thanks.